Well, hey everyone, and welcome back. Today, I want to share with you 7 tiny ways that you can begin to take better care of yourself in 2022. And these are all small, easy steps that you can begin to take to better nourish your mind, body, and soul going into the new year. And I'm a big believer that more often than not, it's the small changes that we make in our daily lives that have the biggest and most lasting impact. So let's dive right into this now and start looking at each of these 7 small, achievable changes that you can begin making today. And the first way that you can begin taking better care of yourself in 2022 is to prioritize sleep. Studies show that about 1 in 3 adults don't get enough sleep each night. And I think a lot of us, if we're honest with ourselves, would admit that we should make sleep more of a priority. And I think what's lacking for most people isn't the desire to sleep more. We all know that we could benefit from it, but we lack a plan. And so in order to prioritize sleep and get the rest you need, one of the best things that you can do for yourself is to create routines. Try putting yourself on a schedule where you go to bed and wake up at the exact same time every night with no exceptions. That's going to help your body create very natural rhythms of waking and resting. And that's a great place to get started, but then to build on that, you want to create an environment around you that invites rest. This is especially important if you find that you have difficulty in getting to sleep or staying asleep at night. Make sure that you're not using your phone or watching TV right up until the minute that you go to bed. That's actually one big reason why I recommend never having a TV physically in your bedroom. But then consider what other factors might be at play here too. Maybe you need to stop having caffeine so late in the day. I know personally I need to stop having caffeine by 2 p.m., otherwise it's going to keep me up too late at night. Or maybe your pillow's worn out and you need a new pillow. Perhaps you should try drinking a cozy, caffeine-free tea before bed. There are a lot of different things that you can do to create a restful, relaxing environment as you kind of wind down for the evening, and those can all improve your sleep. Whatever you choose to do though, try to create a routine that's going to help you to prioritize rest and help you get the sleep that you need. Okay, and then another amazing way that you can take care of yourself this year is to limit sugar. And I think especially in the past few months, most of us have been consuming way more heavily processed foods and added sugars than we should be. And at the end of the day, added sugars provide very little nutritional value to us, but what they do instead is set us up for this sugar high and then crash, high and then crash, high and then crash. And that's really just not a good way for us to be a good steward of our body and to nourish ourselves. And so if you found yourself recently consuming a lot more added sugars than you'd like to, I'd encourage you to try limiting or even cutting out all added sugars for 30 days. And instead, because where we create a void, we want to also fill it, focus on nourishing your body with nutrient-dense foods. And this is one that I'm setting out to do this January. I've made the decision to, for the next 30 days, eliminate all added processed sugars from my diet. So I'm going to still allow myself to have maple syrup and honey, but for the most part, any kind of added sugars, I want to just refrain from eating over the course of the next 30 days. And this is just a really simple way that you can enhance your overall health and improve your energy levels. All right, and then the third habit that you can begin to implement this year is to schedule quiet time. And I think it's safe to say that most of us live at a frenetic pace. We're always busy, and although we might say that we want peace and quiet, we never seem to find time in our busy schedules to actually make it happen. And the thing is, quiet time and time to slow down doesn't happen naturally. So instead, we need to create a space to really make it happen. Don't wait until you're completely burned out to rest. You're not a machine, and so you shouldn't treat yourself like one. As humans, we need time to work and also time to rest. Time to do and also time to be. And so instead of always going, what we want to work towards is to create space in our schedule to where we can go and then rest, and go and then rest. And when we can build that habit of incorporating times of rest into our lives, that's going to help us to recharge and to enjoy life more. And then the fourth thing that you can do is plain and simple, and that's just to read more. And books really are just such an incredible tool to help us learn and grow. They really can completely transform our lives or transport us to new and exciting worlds. And I think that most of us would agree with that, but we still fail to prioritize it. Instead, we get distracted with watching TV or scrolling social media. Because yeah, it is a lot easier just to take in a show. But that's part of the reason why reading is so much more powerful than just watching TV. When we read books, our brains are far more actively engaged in processing and taking in information, mulling it over, and letting it sink in than when we're consuming content, whether that's on the TV or through social media. And so reading really is just an unparalleled way to really help us to learn and to grow. And I feel like during the new year, a lot of people, often myself included, honestly, will set out these crazy goals for how many books they want to read in a year. I have several friends who said they're going to read 50 books this year, and that's impressive, but I think that for a lot of us, that's something that feels really unachievable. And so instead, I'd recommend just try setting aside 15 minutes for yourself every single day to read. Start there and just see where it takes you. Maybe you'll completely fall in love with reading. But I'd encourage you just to start small and begin incorporating it into your daily life. And then the fifth thing that you can do to take better care of yourself in 2022 is to declutter your home. I think it's a very underrated fact that how we feel internally is often heavily influenced by our surroundings. When our homes feel cluttered and messy, our minds feel the same, and that often manifests itself in stress and anxiety for us. And so a great way to take care of yourself this year is to take care of your space. And this is not me saying you need to go out and completely declutter your life in a day. That's not achievable or realistic. But I would encourage you to start small and to slowly begin simplifying your life. Try decluttering one small problem area in your home a day and do that for a week. And I think you'll be amazed at the end of the week how much more refreshed your home feels. So maybe on the first day you go through your bag or your purse and declutter the contents of that. And then the next day, do the inside of your car, get rid of all of the junk in there. The next day, you can do your closet, maybe the next day after that, your junk drawer, and just go on until you really begin to feel confident and comfortable in your space. Think through if there are any areas of your home where you feel a sense of stress, of overwhelm, of annoyance, or even of anxiety. Those feelings are all different ways of your brain saying, hey, something isn't quite right here. And by simplifying and decluttering in those areas, it really can help bring a lot more peace and tranquility to your home. And then number 6 is a quick one, and that's just to make appointments. And if you've been saying that you want to prioritize your well-being going into the new year, now's your time to prove it. Set aside a few minutes and get the appointments that you've been talking about or putting off on the calendar. If you've been experiencing sore muscles, maybe it's time to book a massage. If you have back pain, maybe you need to go see a chiropractor, or maybe if you're just wanting to be more physically fit this year, you need to sign up for a few sessions with a personal trainer. This could look like a lot of different things, but I think sometimes we feel like when we have a problem, we need to fix it on our own. But that's just simply not true. Often other people, whether that's a doctor, a therapist, a trainer, or anyone else, can really help be catalysts in helping us to make the change that we want to see in our lives. And so whatever you might be struggling with or wanting to improve going into 2022, my encouragement to you is to stop putting off getting help. That can be one of the best things that you do to take care of yourself this year. And then finally, number 7 is to get away. And there is nothing like getting outside of your everyday environment to help you to really achieve clarity and to feel refreshed. Even if it's just for a day or a weekend away, just that short period of time really can help us to feel rejuvenated and like we can go back into our lives with increased energy. So try just setting aside a day or a weekend and go somewhere that inspires you. I'd recommend in nature, but you can go wherever you want. And during your getaway, take time to really appreciate your surroundings. Enjoy the stillness and set aside time to reflect. And if you do that, I promise that you're going to come back with just a renewed energy and passion for life. All right, well, those are 7 ways that you can begin to take better care of yourself in 2022. And I really hope that they motivate and inspire you to really focus on nourishing your body and soul as we go into the new year. And I'd love to know, what's one small thing that you want to start doing to take better care of yourself this year? Be sure to let me know in the comments. I would love to hear about it. And if you enjoyed today's video and haven't already, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more simple and intentional living videos coming at you twice a week, and follow me on Instagram. I'm at Ashlynne.Eaton on there, and I'm always posting new daily inspiration and updates. And that's everything I've got for you in today's video, but thank you all so much for watching and for coming along with me, and I'll see you in the next one.